Jack was hungry. He walked to the kitchen. He got out some eggs. He took out some oil. He placed a skillet on the stove. Next, he turned on the heat. He poured the oil into the skillet. He cracked the eggs into a bowl. He stirred the eggs. Then, he poured them into the hot skillet. He waited while the eggs cooked. They cooked for 2 minutes. He heard them cooking. They popped in the oil. Next, Jack put the eggs on a plate. He placed the plate on the dining room table. Jack loved looking at his eggs. They looked pretty on the white plate. He sat down in the large wooden chair. He thought about the day ahead. He ate the eggs with a spoon. They were good. He washed the plate with dishwashing soap. Then, he washed the pan. He got a sponge damp. Finally, he wiped down the table. Next, Jack watched TV. Every year we go to Florida. We like to go to the beach. My favorite beach is called Emerson Beach. It is very long, with soft sand and palm trees. It is very beautiful. I like to make sand castles and watch the sailboats go by. Sometimes there are dolphins and whales in the water. Every morning we look for shells in the sand. I found 15 big shells last year. I put them in a special place in my room. This year I want to learn to surf. It is hard to surf, but so much fun. My sister is a good surfer. She says that she can teach me. I hope I can do it. I live in a house near the mountains. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and I was born last. My father teaches mathematics, and my mother is a nurse at a big hospital. My brothers are very smart and work hard in school. My sister is a nervous girl, but she is very kind. My grandmother also lives with us. She came from Italy when I was 2 years old. She has grown old, but she is still very strong. She cooks the best food. My family is very important to me. We do lots of things together. My brothers and I like to go on long walks in the mountains. My sister likes to cook with my grandmother. On the weekends we all play board games together. We laugh and always have a good time. I love my family very much. Story: A Merchant and His Donkey. One beautiful spring morning, a merchant loaded his donkey with bags of salt to go to the market in order to sell the salt. The merchant and his donkey were walking along together. They had not walked far when they reached a river on the way. Unfortunately, the donkey slipped and fell into the river. As it scrambled up the bank of the river, it noticed that the bags of salt loaded on his back had become lighter. There was nothing the merchant could do except return home, where he loaded his donkey with more bags of salt. As they reached the slippery river bank again, the donkey fell into the river, this time deliberately. Thus the salt was wasted again. By now the merchant knew the donkey's trick. He wanted to teach the animal a lesson. As he returned home the second time with the donkey, the merchant loaded bags of sponges on its back. The duo set out on their trip to the market a third time. On reaching the river, the donkey very cleverly fell into the water again. But now, instead of the load becoming lighter, it became heavier. The merchant laughed at the donkey and said, "You foolish donkey, your trick has been discovered. You should know that you cannot fool anyone too many times."